Humph, such arrogance! Poseidon snorted coldly. The seawater around him churned violently, transforming into countless sharp water spikes that shot toward Dustin with a deafening howl. Under the sunlight, these water spikes gleamed like silver rain, covering every inch of space around Dustin. His eyes sharp as a blade, Dustin swung his sky sword lightly. A dark sword aura slashed outward. Wherever the sword aura passed, the water spikes shattered instantly, turning into a mist of scattered droplets. However, Poseidon did not relent. His attacks surged like relentless waves. One wave had barely subsided before another rose to take its place. With a sweep of his trident, he carved blue energy rings in the air, which rapidly expanded and pressed toward Dustin with immense force. Dustin's figure flickered and disappeared like a phantom, reappearing beyond the energy rings in the next instant. Standing in midair, he spun rapidly, and his sky sword became a whirlwind of darkness in his hands, stirring the surrounding seawater into utter chaos. "Poseidon, this is all you've got?" Dustin shouted as he thrust his sword forward. A black sword beam, carrying a world-shattering aura, shot straight toward Poseidon. Poseidon's expression turned grave. Gripping his trident tightly, he gathered all his strength at its tip and met Dustin's sword attack head-on. Boom! A deafening explosion rang out, shaking the heavens and the earth. The moment the sword beam and trident collided, an intense burst of light erupted, so dazzling it hurt to look at. A powerful shockwave spread outward from the two combatants, raising waves dozens of meters high. The surrounding seawater evaporated instantly, creating a massive vacuum in the ocean. From a distance, General Lewis and the others witnessed this battle with awe and fear. A battle between ultimate grandmasters. Is this how terrifying it can be? General Lewis murmured, his voice trembling in disbelief. Lu Jun and the others were equally shocked. Before this level of power, they felt as insignificant as ants, completely helpless, as if they could be wiped out at any moment. Meanwhile, Dustin and Poseidon continued to clash within the energy storm. With the ocean as his domain, Poseidon's power seemed endless, surging forth without restraint. His attacks became sharper, each strike carrying the force of crashing tsunamis. Dustin, however, relied on the skysword's deadly edge and his own immense strength to evade Poseidon's onslaught while searching for an opening to counterattack. The battle raged on, either gaining the upper hand. At some point, faint cuts appeared on Dustin's skin, and his blood stained his clothes. Though his injuries were not severe, they were proof that Poseidon's relentless attacks were starting to take their toll. But Poseidon was not unscathed either. A deep wound, inflicted by the sky sword, ran along his arm. Strangely, the blood oozing from his body was blue. "Logan Reese! Today will be your last!" Poseidon roared. He suddenly raised his trident high, and the surrounding seawater surged wildly, forming a colossal blue water dragon. The dragon roared, shaking the heavens, and charged straight at Dustin. Dustin took a deep breath, channeling all his power into the sky sword. His gaze was resolute, as if he had become one with the blade. 7 slashes! Execution! With a mighty shout, Dustin swung his sky sword. A massive black sword shadow erupted from the blade, soaring into the sky before cleaving down toward the water dragon. Sword and dragon clashed in midair, unleashing an earth-shattering explosion. The ocean surface erupted with waves 100 meters high, and the surrounding space seemed to tear apart, revealing black rifts in the air. The sheer force of the impact sent Poseidon flying backward, crashing into the sea with an enormous splash. Dustin, too, was forced to retreat several meters, his face turning pale. Then, the water ahead churned violently. Poseidon, who had been sent plunging into the depths, slowly floated back to the surface. At that moment, he remained motionless, drifting lifelessly on the water. A gaping wound, the size of a fist, had pierced through his chest and abdomen. His blue blood seeped into the ocean, dyeing it an even more eerie shade of blue. "Is it over?" Dustin narrowed his eyes but quickly furrowed his brow. That last strike had severely wounded Poseidon, but it had not killed him. More importantly, his once fading life force was now recovering at an astonishing speed. Before Dustin's very eyes, Poseidon's wounds were healing at a visible rate. The energy of the ocean was rapidly replenishing him. "This guy is ridiculously tough." Dustin's expression darkened. He knew that unless he could land a single, fatal strike, as long as Poseidon remained in the ocean, no matter how severe his injuries or how much energy he lost, he would always recover. The ocean was his domain. If this battle dragged on any longer, the consequences would be unimaginable.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime, love with no end, love with no end. Staying in my imagination, memorizing the past time, the secrets, the love, the care. Now they're echoes in the air. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace.